Today I want to talk about the importance of checklists and how you as a client need to make sure that your attorney is using checklists. When you go meet with an attorney, and please don't sign up with just the first one you see, make sure you visit with one or two before you make a decision. Take a keen look at checklists. Now, I want to take a step back here. My grandfather, my dad, my mom, they were all pilots. They had other occupations, but they all flew planes. And so my grandpa, even though he was a pastor, preacher for over 40 years, he flew planes and bought and sold planes as a way to earn an income, extra side income, supplemental income. He would fly like DC, whatever they were, 16 people on board all over South America, North America, all over different places, because he was a cowboy of sorts. But even though he had a cowboy mentality, and he grew up back in the 20s and 30s or whatnot, he had checklists. And when I would fly with him as a young kid, I would see him routinely look at things, and before he took off, check every single thing on the outside of the plane and go through a checklist, even though he had literally over 20,000 hours in an airplane, instrument rated, multi-engine instructor. He would use his checklist every time. My parents would use checklists every time. And even when you use checklists, you still have things go wrong. I can think of countless times when equipment fails or there's problems. Same thing with my foot a couple weeks ago. I was playing basketball with my son, broke my foot. So I call a friend of mine, I say, hey, I think I've sprained my ankle or I've broken something. What do I do? I send a video and they tell me a couple things, but they weren't using checklists. I pull up the Mayo Clinic and they have a specific checklist of questions an emergency room doctor should be asking. Should be asking, did you move it this way? How is it injured? How has it been hurt before? All these things. I'm thinking, man, what a great checklist to have. The Mayo Clinic's checklist, there's 6 pages on just a sprained ankle. Seems kind of simple and basic. So now let's take it to a legal perspective. From a legal perspective, we at our office succeed largely because we make sure to regularly use checklists. It doesn't matter if you're drafting a complaint, drafting discovery, you're going to mediation, you're doing law in motion, or you're going into trial. Each time you have a checklist, you're making it better and better. It's a living document. It changes over time, but each time you're making sure, am I doing this one step better than I did it last time? Am I improving, and am I learning from my adversary? Am I learning from the resources I have? Am I continuing to grow? And as a client of ours or any other attorney, I want you to see that in action.